going to turn it over to Zoe, who is going to walk you through the agenda and take a pulse of how folks are feeling today with the word cloud.
Righty, hello everyone. I'm Zoe Cooper-Andorka. I am a school partnership specialist. I'm just gonna walk us through our agenda and objectives for today. So we already did a quick reintroduction to communities and schools. In just a moment, I'm gonna transition us into a bit of a pulse check just to see how folks are feeling about the new school year. There is so much newness and much to embark on in such an unprecedented year. So we're just gonna do a little bit of a pulse check to see how folks are feeling. We are going to cover what to expect in the new school year and also what is new in the Communities and Schools Partnership. We are just going to do a run through of the partnership expectations and also cover some tips for success as site coordinators or site coordinator team members. We're going to do a little bit of trivia, bit of general Communities and Schools trivia just to get your brain pumping a little bit. And then we're going to go over some community partner information. As Sukata mentioned, some members of our community partnership team are here to share a bit about the community partner vendoring and tiering process and how you can anticipate connecting with partner organizations this year. And then we are going to hold space for questions and answers. So as Sukata mentioned, you can post questions in the chat. We have also gathered and synthesized any questions that were submitted with registration. So we're going to go over those as well. But right now we're going to do just a little bit of a pulse check, and you will need your cell phone for this. One quick moment. All righty. So here we go. So this is going to be something that you can text in. So to activate this, you will text CIS of Chicago 290 to 22333. And then it should prompt you to submit your answer. So just one word, how are you feeling about the 2020-2021 CIS of Chicago partnership? And then your answers will be generated into a word cloud. Very fancy, very tech savvy. Excited. Just very, very excited. Curious. Hopeful. Again, you're going to want to text CIS of Chicago. That's the actual text message, and you will send that to 22333. All right, a little disconnected. Sure, that is definitely something we have anticipated. Ooh, excited, just got a little bit bigger. Okay. Hopeful, encouraged, positive.
Ready, I like that one.
Alrighty, once the submissions start to slow down a little bit, we can just transition back to the presentation. Anxious, that is to be expected, of course. Sad, confused.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful, intrigued. So it looks like we have a pretty solid mix of feelings here, both positive and negative. And as I mentioned, that is to be expected. You know, there is so much change that we're embarking on. I am sure folks are feeling discouraged for not having been in the building, not seeing your students face to face, not delivering support in the way that you are used to. We certainly meet you on that. Disconnected. Yeah, so seems like folks are feeling some type of way. And I definitely feel you on that. So I'm just gonna lock this real quick. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted those responses. That is very much going to inform the remainder of our conversation. Take that, and now I'm going to pass it back over to Joanne Flores-Dieter, who is just going to start us off on what to expect in the new school year.
Hi, Joanne Flores-Dieter, School Partnership Specialist. Well, things are going to be obviously a little bit different, but pretty well the same. CIS of Chicago is committed to continuing support for all of our 175 schools as we've done in the past. We will continue to help you access programs and services for your school community needs, along with our Activate events that we host throughout the school year. This is an Activate event, if you're curious. The different part is that we're moving our services onto a digital platform and assisting our partners in that process as we follow CPS guidelines. We are working to branch out with fundamental needs and basic amenities. So we're looking to partner with legal and immigration services, food providers, and organizations that could provide in-kind donations, for example, like clothing, hygiene products, hygiene and feminine products. Our Activate events this year will be virtual. We will have a SEL 101 in November, and that's to reflect and continue support for our students. We'll have an SEL 201 in December, and that's to support for our staff. We are doing a geographic meetups in February, and we're moving our resource fair to the spring this school year. We will also be having a self-care event in April. And this year we will be focusing more heavily on social and emotional learning. And then you should or will be receiving your SEL newsletter and infograph, and we're putting that infograph here in the chat.
Perfect. Hi, guys. My name is Kayla Davis, School Partnership Specialist. And for the succession planning and the partnership introduction videos, what that looks like, your beautiful, fantastic, amazing School Partnership Specialist will send a beautiful video over to you all. And this video will talk about who's your main point of contact at CIS, a little CIS history, ways that we will continue to support you, helping you access programs and services for your school community needs, school needs and referrals, and that we will also be talking about convening opportunities. Feel free to share this video with other people in your school community. That way they will know who their school partnership specialist is at Communities and Schools of Chicago. You should be getting that probably within the next week and a half. Yep, I'm gonna say that. I'm saying those words. Yep. Hi, team. The next thing I'll be speaking on is the CIS YouTube channel. All of our informal videos can be found on our YouTube channel. As far as resources for school partners, can be found in the Resource and Training tab. Resource and Training for Partners playlist. If you missed anything last year, anything from the spring of last year, definitely go back and look at those videos. All of our recordings for this year will be posted on YouTube. So if you're unable to attend, feel free to definitely just pop in and look at those videos to get the information that we discussed. And please, please, please be encouraged to follow us on all of our social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Yep, and YouTube. So feel free, ask a friend or two to come along for the ride to follow us on our social media platform. And last but not least, drum roll please. Care packages. So the four of us met up in the office safely with our masks, social distancing. And we met in the office to put together these care packages for each of our site coordinators from all 145 school communities that we're supporting this year. Hopefully that you received your care package by now. If not, that's totally okay. You should be receiving it soon. They were mailed to your school, just FYI, CC to you, the site coordinator at the school, whomever you are. The care packages include the following: parent and staff programs. You get a beautiful CIS sticker. Feel free to stick it anywhere you would like. Your school partnership specialist contact information, which will be on like a little business card. SEL material. We know that SEL is extremely important, not only for our kiddos, but for the whole school community as well as ourselves. Site coordinator and principal roles and responsibilities. Excuse me, it's a beautiful long little sheet of paper. Not really, but it's really cute. Zoe designed it, so kudos to Zoe. Just giving you the roles and responsibilities of the site coordinator and the principal for this year and all years moving forward. And during this time, we really just wanted to give you a little self-care material. So you will find a facial mask, yes. Floral seeds, happy first day of fall. So you may save it, plant it, I don't know. As well as a little, we just wanted to provide you a little work home life balance for this fall. So hopefully you received it. If you received it, let us know. Send us pictures of you and your beautiful mask, whatever you decide to do. We really just want to say thank you. And provide you with a little self-care as well as a little care package to know that we are always thinking of you all, even from afar. We hate that we can't be with you and meet with you in person, but we just wanted to let you know that we're thinking of you. Passing it on to the next person.
Thank you, Kayla. Thank you, ladies. Of course, we will continue to say thank you because we know that what you do is so important. And it takes a lot to do what you do. But I'm going to talk about partnership success. Of course, we want all of our partners to be successful, every single one of you. And as partners, we work together to connect programs and services to your school communities. We also have a shared passion about serving CPS students. Our partnership requires participation from every school partner and each school specialist. And as in any partnership, you get out of it what you put into it. So, how do we make the most out of our partnership? There are 3 different areas where you as a school partner can be successful. Those are communication, connecting and evaluating programs, and thoughtful engagement. Let's talk a little bit about communication. Communication is key to any relationship, and just like your partnership with Communities and Schools of Chicago, communication is the most important thing. We have 3 touch points a year. There are 3 times within the school year that we exchange information and build our relationships with our schools. So it is very important to have those beginning, middle, and end of the year meetings. Being responsible and accessible to your school partnership specialists. We send so many opportunities to our schools. There are many opportunities that may be specific to your school and or be time sensitive. If you are not responsive, your students may miss out on an opportunity that was tailored just for them. So it is very beneficial for you to maintain a consistent flow of communication with your specialists. Using your connected programs and services log. We have this log so that we can find out the program information that you are using in your school. This information lets us know how we are meeting your school needs and if those needs are being met. So that is an important tool for you to communicate with us, as well as emailing your specialists with that program information. Next, connecting and evaluating programs. We'd like all of our school partners to take advantage of at least 4 programs or services throughout the school year. Our community partnership team and community partners work really hard to provide meaningful programs to your school community. The primary objective of our partnership is to connect those programs to your students, staff, or parents. Also, observing one of those programs. We ask that you or another staff member observe at least 1 program per year. This year, we would like you to observe a live virtual or pre-recorded program early in the year so that we can gauge program effectiveness. And lastly, thoughtful engagement. Event attendance. Annually, have representation from your school at a minimum of 1 training or convening. Our events are intended to inform you and provide an opportunity to collaborate and network with other schools within the CIS of Chicago network. All right. We also want our site coordinators to be successful as well. Here are some helpful tips for you when you're managing the site coordinator role. Bookmark or set notifications for emails from your school partnership specialist. That way, when program information comes through, it will not get lost in the large number of emails that you receive on a daily basis. Communicate to your specialist the best method and timing for connection and communication. Be specific when reaching out to community partners. Include dates and times you would like the partners to enter into your school environment, and also have a backup plan in case the partner is not available at that time. Set aside time in your schedule each week to focus on CIS of Chicago connections and opportunities. Use your connected programs and services log as a guide. Enter partners you have reached out to and notate the most recent touch points so that you can follow up accordingly. And always, if you're having trouble, contact your assigned school partnership specialist, especially for partner connection matters. And lastly, plan out the school year and try to schedule as early as possible. I hope some of these tips will be successful for you. Our successful site coordinators have done these things which have helped them in this role. So now it is time for a trivia break.
Yay, I'm so excited for trivia. So this is also something that you can do on your phone, but you can also do this on your computer. But if you want to follow along with the actual trivia game, it might be a little bit easier to do it on your phone. So you're going to open up your preferred browser, whether that be Safari, Google Chrome, etc. Then you're going to enter www.kahoot.it. And then you'll enter in the room code, which I will pull up in just a moment. And you can name yourself whatever you'd like. And winner gets ultimate bragging rights and a virtual hug from the CIS staff member of your choice. Alrighty. Alrighty, the room code is 317-9080. And it's coming in hot. Someone entered in the room code as their name, which is fine.
Zoe, Erin is having some
Yes.
difficulty. Erin, how can we help you?
So the issue that Erin might be having is there is a maximum number of players. So that could potentially be something, but it does look like folks are still joining effectively.
Looks like she got it.
Zoe?
Good.
Oh, Erin Copeland, I see you.
Uh, Zoe, what is the max? I see we have,
I believe
28
25.
okay.
So if there are multiple folks from one school and one of you wants to rep the school. All right, yeah, it looks like we have 30 folks in.
That's
so-
what I was wondering.
Yeah, maybe I'm just uninformed. All right. Oh, well, now we're down to 27.
What
What's
happened?
happening? All right, I'm probably just going to give it one more second just to get folks in. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and lock things. And we shall get started. After School Success of CIS. All righty, as of February, who is the president and CEO of Communities and Schools National? Is it Jane Mensinger, Elaine Winnie, Arthur Michelson, or Ray Saldana? All right, only one person got
Oh
it
my
correct.
God.
Ray Saldana is the new president and CEO of Communities and Schools National. Ray is actually an alumnus of Communities and Schools in San Antonio. He was the first alumni on the national board, and he became the president and CEO in February. Ray's also kind of hot, so if you want to see a picture of him, you can go to the Communities and Schools National website.
Lord have mercy.
Amy. All right, Amy's got a hefty lead on folks. Which of the following cities has a Communities and Schools affiliate? St. Louis, Detroit, New Orleans, or New York City? 10 seconds. It is New Orleans. No one got that answer correct. I definitely would have assumed it was Detroit, but New Orleans is the only one of these cities that has a Communities and Schools affiliate. Communities and Schools was founded in New York City. The affiliate in New Orleans is called CIS of Gulf Shore. All right, our leaderboard remains the same. Jane Mensinger is the current CEO of CIS of Chicago. Who preceded Jane as CEO? Was it Janet Huddlin-Krupp, Alice Palmer, CI Schools, which seems like a promising answer, or Robin Kelch? Yeah, so it is Janet Huddlin-Krupp. We got 3 folks who got that answer correct. There are actually 2 notable ladies from Illinois named Alice Palmer. The older one was the original Dean of Women at the University of Chicago. She was also an advocate for women attending university. And then the other Alice Palmer was an Illinois state senator. It was not CI Schools, but I appreciate whoever chose that answer. And then Robin Kelch is actually on this call, and she is our Director of Partnerships. Senior Director of Partnerships, I guess I should say. All right, Joplin up with 843, followed by Lisa, Andrea, and Amy down from first to fourth. How many schools is CIS of Chicago partnering with in the 2020-2021 school year? Is it 156, 32, 144, or 175?
And yes, the number was mentioned in our just previously.
So the answer is 175. There are 30 schools in the intensive program, which is where a communities and school staff person is stationed full-time. There are 145 schools in the partnership program, which is what all of you lovely folks are involved in. Oh, Joplin running away with this lead, followed by Hart, very, very cute. Lisa's still on the board, Jatan, and Pink Dolphin 718. Okay, or Punk Dolphin. Don't want to make assumptions. Which of the school partnership specialists has been with CIS for Chicago the longest? Is it Kayla Davis, Sukata Bell, who's technically now our Associate Director of School Partnerships? Is it me or Joanne Flores-Dieter? 5 seconds left. Yes, so the answer is Sukata Bell. So Kayla and Sukata actually both joined CIS in 2017, but Sukata joined in the spring where Kayla joined in the fall. I joined in the fall of 2018, and JoJo is our baby newbie who has been with us since the fall of last year. All right, Joplin holding on to that lead. Christina on the board, and Lisa drops down 1 place. All right, how many schools in the US have partnerships with a communities and schools affiliate? 2,300, 2,500, 11,400, or 950? It is 2,300. So Communities and Schools has affiliates in 25 states and the District of Columbia. And as of last year in the annual report, we were partnering with 2,300 schools. Ah, Joplin dropping down to second place. Christina usurping for the lead. Followed by Lisa, we got our Hart, and then Lauren finally made it up to the leaderboard. What is the name of the Communities and Schools mascot? The little man in the schoolhouse. Man, person, woman? I don't want to assume their gender. Is it Chip, Champ, Schoolboy Q, or Sissy Schoolhouse? It was Champ. Kudos to whoever chose Sissy Schoolhouse. That was one of my better aliases that I invented for this trivia game. So yes, Champ is the mascot of Communities and Schools. Ah, Christina falling off the board, but Joplin jumping back up to first, followed by Lisa and Lauren. Communities and Schools was founded by Bill Mulligan in the 1970s. How do we internally refer to Bill? Mr. Bill? Big Boy Bill? Billy Millie? Or do we just call him Bill Mulligan and I just had fun with these answers? Billy Millie, he's our boy. He looks very similar to Sonny Bono and is a very lovely and nice man. And I think Karen Rohde is connected with him on LinkedIn, so she's gonna flex on all of us. But we outwardly just call him Bill Mulligan. All right, looks like we didn't have any changes. Tough round, 3 players lost their answer streak. It's rough out here. Which of these is not a CIS partnership program priority area? sexual health education, physicals and immunizations, safety education, or arts residency. Not a priority area. Physicals and immunizations is correct. Those actually fall under physical health service, but all of these are priority areas. Pretty even split across the answers. Joplin falling off again, but Lisa's up with 3753, closely followed by Lauren. We got Jerton and Christina up here. All right, this is our final question. So true or false? The intensive program, which is those 30 schools with a CIS staff person, has been around 15 years longer than the partnership program, which is what everyone here is involved in. Oh, very even split. So this is actually false. The partnership program has been around since the mid-90s. The intensive program has actually only been around since the 2009-2010 school year. So we've been around longer. Let's see our podium. First place, third place. Lauren, 4 out of 10. And then we got Hart. I don't know who you are, but you killed it. And then in first place was Lisa. Yeah, shout out Lisa. 6 out of 10 correct. And then our runners up in 4th and 5th place were LM and Jerton. Good job, everyone. Thank you for being such good sports on that. Now we're going to get back to our presentation. Okay, now I'm going to pass it over to some members of our community partnership team who are going to talk about e-learning and how community partners have pivoted their work during the remote period.
This is tough to follow up from trivia. Come on now. Although this is just as exciting as trivia. Hi, I'm Karen Rohde, Associate Director of Community Partnerships, and this time last year we would have been talking about mostly live in-person programming. But this year we have expanded because we want to meet your needs, meet the needs of your teachers, and be able to provide programming during this remote time. So I'm just going to talk through the different types that are available and then how you will know that, how we are communicating this to you. So when it is appropriate, we will still have live in-person programming. We are also working closely with all of our community partners to transition virtually. So we have live virtual programming. A lot of our community partners are offering pre-recorded content, and this is often a much smaller version, a shorter version of their live virtual. It's a lot of the same content. It might also be different, but the pre-recorded is typically shorter and will be delivered by you or the teachers. Someone in the school, whereas the live virtual will be a guest community partner coming into your virtual classroom. We are also expanding to connect curriculum in some cases. You know, ideally we would have community partners coming in to your class to deliver, but since, again, we are virtual, we are looking for curriculum that can meet your needs. And and also the basic needs that the school partnership team is focusing on. So how will you know about all these new options? So in your referral, which you can see the top example of the top of your referral, this should look familiar to all of you. This is how we communicate programming from all of our partners to you. We will still have the type of partner, the type of service at the top, the grades that are served, the format. So is it classroom? Is it a teacher workshop? Is it small group? The number of sessions. But what is new this year, the big arrow, is what virtual or what format is it available? So is it pre-recorded? Will it be live in person? Is it live virtual, curriculum, basic needs? So if you want a quick reference as to how the program is being delivered, you can now find that on the referral there. And then within the larger referral, should the pre-recorded be different in any way, we will note that in the referral. So again, you should hopefully have a quick snapshot of what you can expect from all of our community partners. So any questions about the type of programming? I don't know if maybe we shouldn't do questions, but if there's any quick questions about the referral, go ahead and you can drop it in the chat. But hopefully we are meeting your needs. And if there is a type of program on here that you're not seeing, or a format, please let your school specialist know as we go throughout the year, and we can look for what you need. So now I'm going to turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Emma, to talk you through some of your vendor questions.
Hi all, wonderful to see you all today. So we wanted to pass along the information that we are letting partners know about. So all community partners that want to engage with students and families remotely this year need to be a CPS approved vendor. And partners that are only engaging with staff are Tier 0. Tier 1 would be remote learning partners who would join a virtual classroom that had a teacher present, and then our Tier 2 partners would be able to host groups of students together. None of our partners right now should have clearance to do exactly one-on-one. We have CIS staff members who have gotten that Tier 3 clearance, but in general, most of our partners will be meeting that Tier 1 or Tier 2 designation. And this is just a really wonderful, easy graphic. Again, these slides will come to you via email, so feel free to refer to that at any point during the year. Awesome. So if you want to schedule a community partner program or service, but they are not currently a vendor, your principal can employ a vendor sponsorship. And this is what those steps look like. So the reason why this is different this year is historically there has been a pathway for partners who are volunteers to come into schools and do work without a vendor number or having become vendors. But as we're in the virtual space, CPS wants to make sure that everyone is vetted and coming through an organization that has been vetted by CPS. So that is why we might have partners that, oh, you know, we've worked with such and such program for many, many years, but now they need to become a vendor in order to be able to officially offer programs virtually. So principals sponsor an organization or agency to start the vendor process. Then the community partner completes the vendor application. And finally, once approved, a principal can request a partner be re-tiered to Tier 1 or Tier 2, because the basic level that all partners start at would be Tier 0. So that tier that's only interacting with staff, no live interactions with students. So again, the principal is going to start that vendor process. They will sponsor the organization. They're giving their check of approval that they want to work with this organization, which is what, you know, CPS at large wants to make sure this partner is meeting a need. Then the partner will fill out the application. And then again, the principal can request that they are re-tiered to Tier 1 or 2 as is appropriate for their programming. Awesome. So now we're going to move into the question and answer section. So I encourage you to drop any questions that you have in the chat. And we're going to start by answering these 4 that came through the registrations that you did. So we'll start by answering these, but I welcome you to drop things in the chat and we can answer those as well. Karen, I'm going to start off, but if you feel like I'm missing anything, please feel free to jump in. Are partners willing to connect with schools and families during distant learning? Absolutely. Partners really, really want to support schools, teachers, students. They want to be there to help you in whatever way would be most useful. So please feel free to talk with your school partnership specialist. Are there needs at your school? Do you want pre-recorded programming? Is live virtual more what you're looking for? Partners have expressed to us that they are flexible and interested in making sure that what they're offering is meeting that need. So definitely partners are interested. Has the number of available resources declined since we started remote learning? So I think the answer to this question is that the available resources have changed. For example, we're not going to be taking field trips this year, or at least this fall, to go see a performance at the CSO, but there are still some recordings available of performances. And again, as Joanne said at the beginning of the presentation, we've expanded the kinds of programming that we're trying to connect to you. So looking at those basic or fundamental needs, as well as curriculum. So we hope that you will not feel that there are fewer opportunities, that there's less this year, that in fact it just looks different, as the entire landscape that we are doing teaching in is different this year. So hopefully that answers that question. I will pass it on back to the school partnership team for these other ones.
Alrighty, so I am going to tackle these next couple of questions. So have the partnership requirements changed, meaning scheduled and completed programming and the number of connections that you should expect to have in a given school year? Has that changed now that we're remote? So the short answer is no, not really. As we mentioned in the earlier stages of the presentation, the partnership expectations are still very much the same as they would be in a typical school year. We are asking that you connect with a minimum number of programs and services, and that is 4. And that should be from the Communities and Schools Network. It should be unique partners, unique services with each of those connections. We are asking that you complete 1 observation form for the school year. We are asking that you represent your school or your school community at a minimum of 1 Activate event. So if you are here and present with us, that box is already ticked for this school year. And then just upholding communication and maintaining the connected services log. Those are the primary tenets of the Communities and Schools partnership. We are still going to uphold those expectations. The biggest change that I'll talk about in just a second is that we're remote, where we would typically be seeing you in person, during those beginning, middle, and end of the year meetings, or at Activate events or other types of convenings. We typically have representation within our school communities, whether that's tabling, judging a science fair, volunteering at a parent event, attending an LSC meeting. That stuff is going to be limited just for health and safety, but the partnership requirements have largely not changed. You'll notice during beginning of the year meetings, if you've had them already, where we would typically go through a quantitative goal setting process, which is where you lay out the number of priorities that you would like to fulfill and the number of services that you would like to connect with. If it's more comfortable for you to be conservative in that goal setting process, so long as it's beyond or in line with the minimum number of connections, that is completely fine and totally acceptable given all of these extenuating circumstances. So overall, does the partnership look different? Largely no. We are still here to support you in whatever capacity that means for you. We are still going to offer year-round technical assistance. You can still anticipate hearing from your school partnership specialists regularly, if not more, since we can't have those in-person touch points. We also have branched out into offering different types of services, as Joanne mentioned previously. We have basic needs partnerships. We have more curricula than we would in a typical school year. We have programs that are being offered in different modalities. So the community partnership team has worked very hard over the summer to help transition programming from in-person to live, virtual, pre-recorded, etc. So those are the biggest differences that you can anticipate. But as far as that one-on-one partnership with your specialist and the relationship with communities and schools and your school at large, things are largely going to look the same. So I don't know if there have been other questions placed in the chat. I can't see it because I'm screen sharing. So I'm just going to ask one of my teammates to dictate things to me if that's okay.
Of course. It has been one in the chat. So Katie said, if the organization is currently a vendor, does the principal still have to sponsor and determine the tier? The answer to that is no. So if the partner is already a vendor, then they don't need to be sponsored. They'll want to figure out their tier designation, which they can find out by reaching out to purchasing to do that. And if the partner is coming to you confused, feel free to refer them back to CIS. We have many things that we've created to try to make this process easier for partners. And I will say, we have met with a good number of partners this year, so we've already set them on the track of getting the right tier, making sure everything is in line. So if a partner is not sure of their tier designation, let your school partnership specialist know and we can help them square that away.
I will add one little thing is, you know, and again, this is something Emma and I can be working with partners on, but if they have been a vendor, what's important though is that their vendor status is active, because if they have been offering no cost programming for at least a year, they would have to activate their vendor status. So again, you can direct them to us, but that is something that if they ask you, am I active? You can say, I don't know, but you can find that out. And if you don't know how to do that, you can send them back to us.
And then the last thing that I'll just tack on the end of that is they might need the principal to help them get re-tiered. So if they were a vendor and a lot of the vendors just were automatically tiered at 0 to make sure that we are safe and that students are not being exposed to partners that haven't gotten the right clearance. So even if a partner has historically been a vendor, they may need principal support to get that tier designation. And again, that process is pretty simple, and we're happy to help support making that happen. Is there a place in the referral that specifies organization, vendor, and tier level? There is not, because this is a shifting process, and we, you know, organizations change, staff turnover, things of that nature. And so we don't want to put things into referrals that we don't always know to be 100% true. So we want to make sure that, you know, we're giving partners the information, but we empower you to make sure that you're checking with partners as well. Let's see one more. If a partner says they are a vendor, do we take their word for it, or do they have to show any paperwork? You can look them up in the Oracle system. Is that correct? Someone on my team, if I'm okay, seeing some nods from my team. So your principal or clerk, I believe, can look them up in the system, so you can double check to make sure that everything is squared away. And Katie, if you have more questions afterwards about any of this, I would be happy to talk to you, as I'm sure your specialist would as well. Should I can keep reading these questions if we'd like. Okay, does that mean they will not have to complete the no-cost SEL agreement? This is what my network SEL specialist stated. Needed to be completed by both the school and the partner. So no-cost agreements are something separate from vendor status. So CPS recommends that partners who are providing programming at no cost enter no cost agreements in lieu of having a purchase order. So we want partners to be vendors, absolutely. But then also in order to make sure that all parties know what's being offered in terms of services, one way to do that would be to engage in a purchase order, you know, to say we're going to pay X amount of money for this program. Of course, the partners that you're engaging with us are offering those at no cost. So we still advise engaging in that no cost agreement, just so that all parties know, you know, this is what's being offered. These are the expectations. It just covers everyone. While we would hope always that there were no issues, always best to plan for what could happen. So hopefully that answers that question.
And I'll add one thing. From what we understand, what we have been informed by CPS is that the principal will initiate that no cost agreement with the community partner. That is our understanding, and that is what we have been communicating with community partners.
So Emma, I think for the sake of time, we're probably just going to move forward. And if folks have additional questions, we will hang back and we will get those answered for you, just so folks who have to leave right at noon can depart accordingly.
Okay, so this one's my slide. We're just a few final reminders. So if you haven't already, please schedule your beginning of the year meeting with your assigned school partnership specialist. The 2020-2021 Connected Services log are ready. So if you connect with any CIS of Chicago community partners, please record these connections accordingly. And one more thing that isn't on that slide, please be on the lookout for all of our emails, but the one specific that's coming out very, very soon about this event, and you'll be receiving the slides and then a post survey for you to fill out. There are some more questions that are coming in, and like I said, like Zoe said, we're going to hang back But I would really like to thank you all for attending our first CIS event for this school year. You can reach out to us with any questions, needs, or concerns, and we are looking forward to working with you again this school year. Thank you so much for coming.
And follow us on social media.
Yes, follow us on social media. I didn't write that down. And we can put those in the chat. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thanks for seeing you virtually. Thanks, everyone.
Christine, if you are still on, I do want to mention
Yes.
in response to Robin's comment, also adding that according to our understanding, it is per school and the school's plan and how they are engaging after school partners, and so we would love to know more about what that looks like per school. Also, if you are getting specific requests or what the specific experiences are like.
I did have another question about, there was a resource, the computer program.
CompuDoc.
Yeah. So the principal is wondering if that works with Go Guardian. Because
I don't know enough about Go Guardian to respond to that, but
okay.
I can ask the question of my contact at that organization. She might know, or if you want to chat with me offline, I can learn more and be better responsive.
Okay. Yeah, that would be great, because there's a bit of pushback on, like, well, if it doesn't work with Go Guardian, then
Won't be able to be used
they can't track
for students, right?
usage. Yeah.
Okay, I will ask that question. I will ask that question.
Thank you.
Thanks, Christine.
Hello.
Somebody else? Oh. Anybody else have any additional questions?
Do we know who school 1 is? Did we get a name for them? Okay, cool.
That's Eva Jimenez.
So,
All right. Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you. Take
Bye.
care. Who is this?